previous meeting minutes and the agenda? Okay. So let's go ahead and go over the previous meeting minutes from August 13th meeting. We'll go through kind of the schedule of what we talked about last time. So last time we introduced, and I think everyone was here, that's here now, new leadership. Actually, DeWitt, our president, Antonio Calloway, our vice president, and Lisa Padrowski is actually going to be our secretary, and she is going to be the secretary for the nighttime at 5:30. So you probably don't know her and won't interact with her or encounter her because she is in the nighttime. And we do still need a secretary for the daytime. To keep that in mind, if you want to do that, email me, talk to me, and we can get that set up for you, and I can let you know what that entails. Moving on, school supply fundraiser, we raised money for North Lakeland Elementary specifically. School was starting back up, and we wanted to get supplies for the kids there who really needed it, and that was actually a really good success. There was a lot of, there was like 5 boxes full of a variety of supplies that we were able to give. It was a very good thing. It was very much profitable for them. We also talked about volunteer opportunities. One of the things me, Carly, and the president wanted to kind of make part of SGA, since it is a leadership program, networking and volunteer opportunities, specifically once a quarter. And so the first one, that kind of major one we have, and we talked about, and I'm going to talk about more today, is the Polk County Heart Walk with the American Heart Association. That is September 20th, so just a reminder, if you haven't signed up, and it looks like the majority have, you can sign up. It's this very first one on the left here. September 20th from 1 to 4 o'clock. If you have signed up and you actually can't make it, that's fine as well. You can let me know. 1 to 4 o'clock, basically setting up. So Friday, September 20th is actually the day before the actual Heart Walk. And that's a day that's actually needed and kind of works best for our schedule to help out with that. So setting up tables, really assisting in setting up for the actual event. That's going to be on that Saturday. 1 to 4 is going to be at Publix, Joker Marchant Stadium, and we will meet there at 1 o'clock. And you can wear your Keiser University SGA shirts or any Keiser shirts, and if you don't have one, you can let me know and I can get you one. And so yeah, that'll be September 20th. And then also to go along with that, Spirit Week was another SGA volunteer opportunity, and that was September 3rd through the 6th. We did not have that, obviously, because school got canceled and hurricane. Wanted to be more aware of that and cautious, so we canceled that whole week of Spirit Week. And we're actually moving that from September 3rd to the 6th to October 1st to the 4th. That's when Spirit Week is actually going to be. 1st to the 4th. And so I created a new sign-up sheet, which is right here, the second one. If you're available to help with that, instead of Tuesday morning and night and Friday morning, it's now going to be Thursday morning, Thursday night, and Friday morning to help out, because scheduling, we had to switch what we were going to do on Tuesday to Thursday and vice versa. So Tuesday was going to be Cheeseburgers in Paradise. We're going to be handing out and giving cheeseburgers to our students, and also we're going to have a kind of like a rush day with all the clubs. Sign up for students, SGA, and even other programs that actually have like honor societies. That's actually going to be moved to Thursday, and then Tuesday, which was Character Day, which was on the Thursday, is now going to be on Tuesday. So Character Day is now Tuesday, and we are going to have a guest speaker. The mayor of Lakeland, Bill Mutz, is going to be on campus speaking at 11 o'clock.
Tuesday?
Tuesday, yep.
So we're going to dress like characters?
So what Character Day is you can dress up as your favorite character from a movie, book, TV
I
show.
know. I was going to come in Hello Kitty. But I don't be the mayor. Hello Kitty.
Right. Right, yeah, that's true as well.
Distinguished character.
So, It's a way, and it's also why the speaker is actually coming is because he's going to be speaking on character, and when it comes to leadership and stuff like that. And it also just works out that you get
That's how look he's not much of a character like that.
But so be aware of that. So again, if you can and are available and want to, you can sign up. We will need students to kind of have a table for SGA and kind of represent SGA and hand out flyers, and also help. On that Friday morning, we're going to be giving donuts and coffee to our students. We'll need help serving that. And also that's another day we can advertise for SGA as well. So again, sign-up sheet is over on this table. That's October 1st through the 4th. And that's been moved. Last time we had a Kids Pack Tour report. Some of our students went on a Kids Pack Tour, and that is put on, the tour series put on by the Lakeland Chamber of Commerce. They have a Nod to Nonprofits tour series that they kind of visit in the local Lakeland community, different nonprofit organizations, and tour them and get to know them as a way to be involved in the community and be aware of that. And I think that might be some things we might be doing in the future as well, and keeping track of that and seeing which ones they visit, and we will have sign-up sheets and email reminders if that is something you're interested in. You do have to register, but if you are interested, we can register for you, me and Carly. That's not a problem. And last month, and according to the meeting minutes, the student discussion, there was an idea brought by Ashley DeWitt about a possible Spanish tutoring to assist with patient communication, which is a great idea, and that's something we want to implement. But that will be funneled through the writing studio. It'll be funneled through academics, and I'm not sure if you've met her or not. We just hired a new writing studio coordinator. Her name is Tina Steele. If you do have the chance, stop by and let her know who you are and what you're part of, and welcome her. She's our new writing studio coordinator, and because the tutoring is kind of funneled through academics in the writing studio, that's kind of in the process of being worked through. Not as of now, we're letting her kind of get her feet on the ground and get familiar with things, but that's definitely something we have on the list to kind of put into operation. Also, renting textbooks in a bulletin board area for students to be able to announce those things was brought up as a need. And after talking with Carly a bit, in the student lounge, the bulletin board area is free for use for any student. So if you like, hey, I actually have this, I think I've seen a poster last month, someone, the title of the textbook, the edition, the volume, the ISBN even, so that students are able to look up, this is exactly the textbook, and they were saying, I'm selling it for this much. You can do that, put as many announcements and posters as you want in regards to textbooks. That is a free area to utilize and use. Okay? And also some fundraising ideas. Again, we'll talk about a new fundraiser we'll be doing for this month and next month, but to kind of help with that and assist, some ideas were brought through as pie in the face, a healthy food, fruit bowls to sell, raffles, and bring your kid to school day. Those are all ideas that were brought about and definitely are noted, and if you have any more, definitely feel free to announce that and let me know. And lastly, our president of Keiser here mentioned community involvement awards to go along with Dean's List and Honor Roll, which is actually a good idea. So if you are out and about in the community and volunteer this amount of hours, you might be qualified to earn a community involvement award. Now there's it's a long process in order to come up with a program like that. It's not just let's do this and kind of announce it. You have to have requirements, you have to have certain stipulations to kind of qualify it as a program. So that is something that's being in the work now. And it's definitely noted. I think it's actually a good idea, especially to recognize those who are out and about in the community, who volunteer their time as a Keiser student, but also to to kind of have that as a program along with leadership distinction, also with Dean's List and Honor Roll to kind of recognize that. Any questions on the previous meeting minutes? Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to the agenda for today. We've already gone through all the, number 3, all the updates and old business. One thing to note about that, the office supply station, which was brought up in a July meeting, there was a lack of an office supply station in Building 2. That's still being in the process of. I've been told there's kind of might be some rearrangement in terms of classrooms and writing lab and different things like that. It's definitely a need that's been noted, but has not been finished yet, so that's still pending. And we're going to go ahead and move into our announcements and talk about Heather's Hope Foundation fundraiser, which is the fundraiser we're going to be doing for September and October, and Christy Williams is going to come up and kind of share a bit about that. And if you haven't already, I'll go ahead and pass out the flyer for that, and you can go and have this if you want to look at it.
Thank you. So Heather's Hope Foundation, this is a woman that was a teacher in Lakeland at Seth McHale off South Florida, and her husband owned his own landscaping company. And back in 2008, long story short, because it is pretty long, but there's a website, if you want it, I can let y'all get it and read the story that her mother wrote. But to sum it up, she was being abused by her husband, and little signs were being brought to her mother's attention. You know, she was becoming more distant after she had her 2 children. And she was very jumpy and stuff, and every time her mom would visit her, Clay, which was the husband's name, he would be looking around the corner, and Heather would, you know, reassure him, you know. So to tell more about that, let's see. But Heather would always tell her mom she was fine and nothing was going on in the marriage and stuff like that. She had 2 beautiful babies. Paige at the time was 7. Paige was 13 and Jordan was 7, 2 girls. And then Heather had a brother that died at the age 27 from a heart attack. So Heather, I guess, I don't know, just sat down with her mom one day and said that she was being abused by Clay and that he almost drowned her in the bathtub and raped her. And then she got away for a week, but then the police said that Clay threatened to go into Seth McHale and shoot some of her kids in the class. So she went back one night and was going to try to settle things, but she said she was going to get a divorce from Clay. Clay went and found the gun that he hid and shot Heather in front of the 2 girls. They ran out the door to Grandma's house and then shot himself, and this is in 2008 in Lakeland. So now they do a Heather's Hope Foundation, and I think it's October 26th on a Saturday that they go by Lake Morton, and they do a 5K run and try to collect money and just keep Heather's memory out there. And the daughters are older now, 16 and 11 years old now. And so the mission is to promote awareness and prevention of domestic violence through education and public service. Some other ways that the community has raised awareness to the public is golf tournaments and wine festivals. But she was a 3rd grade teacher at South McHale. So yeah, they just say that the race is important to keep their mother's memory alive and try to keep awareness for people out there that is getting abused behind closed doors. So that's why I did this little sheet for y'all. Emotional signs and behavioral changes, and it's pretty much all about control for the person that's doing the manipulation in the relationship. And I'm comfortable to tell my little story because time has passed, but last year I was in an abusive relationship and I got out of it and I joined student government and got in more groups and stuff, and so it's just made me become a bigger person.
So you guys want to do the 5K run? Is that,
Do the what?
are we gonna do the 5K run? I mean, I'll like jog it, but.
I was asking maybe Miss Carly if we can set up a table, and then
Right.
and then the lady that I just moved in with does embroidery, and she said that she would make some shirts to like pass out.
Yeah, I mean.
And it's purple
I
month.
think it'd be kind of cool.
That's the color.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can talk to
To
Miss
do
Carly.
something like
we can
that.
Set up a table.
Yeah, yeah, and I was talking to Carly as well, and she mentioned that that is something that is on our radar as well. So not only, to have a fundraiser to donate financially to them, but also kind of have like a sponsorship of some sort at the actual walk. October 26th, which is a Saturday, and I believe that is when the actual walk is. We most likely will have like a table set up and help out in some way, or even, walk the actual.
I was gonna say, even like if we donated and participated and
Yeah.
had like our own shirts, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll walk with you next time. I ain't running. Got a Keiser on the throwing up over there.
Keiser down, Keiser
Keiser
down.
down.
One of our students was like laying on the ground needing medical assistance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and I'll definitely make note of that and try to get some more details for that. And thank you, Christy, for kind of sharing that again. Heather's Hope will be our new fundraiser. Last time it was Kids for Kids for North Lakeland Elementary. We definitely want to keep it local with Heather's Hope Foundation. And since October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, it kind of works in perfectly to partner with Heather's Hope Foundation. Moving on in the announcements, and I was talking with Ashley a bit about it. We are starting here at Keiser University, this Lakeland campus, a fall lecture series, and we're actually going to do it for every semester. But we want to do a lecture series for our students that kind of promotes leadership and bringing in speakers from the community to talk about leadership, to talk about character, and to kind of give us some tools for what that looks like outside of college and when we graduate. So we have a lineup already, and it's noted on your agenda. So our first one, which is actually this Thursday, you might actually have seen posters around campus set up of this fall lecture series. The first one is September 12th, this Thursday at 11 a.m. And the speaker is Dr. Michael Akes, and he is the Chief Academic Officer of the Polk County School Board here in the community. And I've met him before, being a secondary education graduate. I've spoken with him before, I've met him before, and he's a good speaker, he's a good leader. So I'm excited to have him come and really start this series off. If you're able to make it, that would be awesome. I believe it's actually, if you attend, you'll actually be able to get a credit for leadership distinction as well if you are part of that program. And so that's September 12th, and then the next one is October 1st, and we're going to have the mayor of Lakeland, Bill Mutz, here. He's going to give a presentation as well, and that'll be at 11 a.m. October 1st is Tuesday, and that's that first day of Spirit Week, which we've already mentioned. And then the next one is Leon Battle. He'll be speaking in November, and he is the chief officer of One More Child, and that's a program that I'm not too familiar of as of now, but he, I think, works with a nonprofit kind of organization of some sort to help in some way, and I do need to do some more research on that, but he will be coming and speaking on November, I think 5th. I believe November 5th. I don't think that's set in stone yet, but it's either November 5th or the 7th. We have one more person that I don't know off the top of my head that I didn't write down because I just got news of it this morning, and I think her name is Emily. Yeah, Ashley, are you pulling that email up? Okay, yeah, Ashley will pull that up, because I sent her an email of it, and who it is.
Emily Rogers. She's the founder and CEO of Emily Rogers Coaching, Grow with Purpose.
Okay, gotcha, okay.
Consulting and coaching.
Cool, yep, and she will be here, I believe, in December. So we already have our full lecture series lined up, and if you could attend, that would be great. We definitely want to pack out the auditorium. This is where it will be, and definitely want to have that.
How can I find you? Hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then next on our announcements is the career fair, which is October 8th. That will be all in the lobby, in this hallway. I think we're going to have some stuff set up here in the auditorium. This is a great chance to meet employers in the community. Come business ready, come with your resume prepared. If you need help with a resume, that's what we do in student services. We help anyone and everyone that goes here with their resume. So if you need help with that, definitely come up there. I can help you. But career fair October 8th, and I believe that is from 10 to 1 o'clock. 10 to 1 o'clock. And October 8th, and that is actually the next SGA meeting date as well. October 8th. All right, any questions about that so far? Okay. Next thing I want to move into is leadership development, kind of a little piece that I have. One of the things that's been started even before I came with SGA meetings is kind of a leadership development piece, a little presentation on leadership to kind of give you a tangible takeaway from the meeting and to even apply. And this one, because we're talking a lot about volunteer opportunities, I want to talk about the importance of volunteering as a leader, volunteer leadership. There is a quote by an unknown author that says, "Volunteering is the ultimate exercise in democracy. You vote in elections once a year, but when you volunteer, you vote every day about the kind of community you want to live in." So to kind of get some discussion, because I don't want to be the only one talking, what comes to mind when you hear volunteer leadership? What are some characteristics? Do you have a certain person in mind? Comes to mind? What do you think of when you hear volunteer leadership?
I'm thinking like people that start like nonprofits.
Okay, yeah,
You see
Yeah.
that? Like Kid Back, Youth Back, you know.
yeah. Anything else?
Giving back to the community.
Right.
You know, not everybody is as fortunate as you are.
Right.
Any way you can help somebody, even if it's just saying hi.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely what comes to mind is definitely sacrificial and kind of a servant leadership mindset. But I have 4 reasons of why volunteer leadership is important. The first one is a learning opportunity. So to kind of give the example with Kids Back that we visited last month is you can, with these different volunteer opportunities, you can learn about a company, an organization that's in the community. And you not only learn about that organization, so you're more tied in with the community, but you also learn about statistics that organization tries to kind of undercut and really help out. So for example, the Kids Pack, they help out the needy children who don't really have a meal on the weekends. That's what their aim is for. And I was able to not only learn that about the organization, but also the statistics within our own community and how much of a need that really is. And that's all over the place with many organizations, so it's a learning opportunity. Number 2, field experience. So not only can you volunteer with an organization like Kids Pack who seeks to help out with children who don't have any food on the weekends, but also even within your field, within your program, you can find a organization and company that you can volunteer your time and actually build your experience that you can add straight to your resume. So field experience, even though you're not getting paid, knowledge and experiences in a lot of ways much more profitable. 3, on the 3rd reason why volunteer leadership is important, networking. Your reputation is on the line, and your reputation is revealed to the community and wherever you volunteer, which is a good thing. And you're able to network with different people who work at various places and work at different companies and organizations, and might be your next employer as well, and help in some way towards that. And to go along with the networking, communication. I know for me and many of us, we can always grow when it comes to communication, and a lot of times, especially with this, for example, the Polk County Heart Walk, there's many people coming from many walks of life coming, and a lot of them we don't know. They're strangers, but that's going to really take us outside of our comfort zone. And in the midst of the discomfort, we can grow, meet others, network, and build our communication. Skills. Number 4, the last one. There's always going to be a need in the community. Just like the quote said, we vote every day about the kind of community we want to live in by how we volunteer or not volunteer. The least we can do is sacrifice our time, because at the end of the day, it is the community we live in and the community we raise our families in. And to end, I kind of like to give some kind of piece, whether it's an article or a video, that you can take away and watch. There's a 1-minute video, and it's at the additional resources at the end of your agenda. There is a 1-minute video on YouTube called Volunteer Leadership, and it's a good piece to kind of just reiterate what I said, and to further think about volunteer leadership and why that is important. Any questions about that? Any more ideas? Any other thoughts? Volunteer leadership?
I
Okay.
think another way to put it is servant leadership, and you can Google that as well. I think any really successful leader in my eyes is one that works for their people, does everything they can to help them be successful, is in service as a leader. And so that it's the same concept of then giving back to your community. You want your community to support your business, whether profit or nonprofit. And so therefore you have to give back to show that same courtesy. And I think by doing so, you build that reputation, you brand yourself, and people want to give to those that give, right? So having that reputation, either with your employer as a leader or even as a community person, will benefit you in great ways. And it feels good. So, and having those attributes as a servant leader is something that you want to aspire to have. And looking up others that are servant leaders, if you Google servant leaders, there'll be lots that comes up. And it's a great way to go about being a leader, because to me it's much more empowering to empower others. So yeah, it's my 2 cents.
Anything else?
I don't know if you guys would be up for it, but there's so many children in homeless shelters, and they don't normally get to celebrate like holidays and stuff. Would you guys be opposed to collecting like new or used like Halloween costumes and making up small bags of candy to deliver to like homeless shelter?
I've thought about that
Kids
last
can
year.
have Halloween.
It's a good idea.
Do you have a fundraiser here for it? Have even a student, every student here brought one bag of candy.
Yeah.
That would do so much.
How much candy y'all eat?
I helped my mom make her kids, and that's like $300 because she's a bus driver.
Yeah.
I sit on that floor, and she goes to Sam's and gets a
I
big
did
bag.
that 2 years ago with my daughter, her entire class, and then 7 periods worth of classes.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
No, but I seen something like that on the news last year, that this family out of their garage, they started it maybe a couple years ago, they get these costumes given to them, and then
Yeah.
kids that can't afford them or families that
Right.
can't afford them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Definitely a good idea. Definitely make note of that. And that's something that can be brought up. Anything else? All right, so lastly, what I like to do, especially since student government is the voice of the students of Keiser, I want to reserve this time for you to bring any suggestions, any ideas, anything you been hearing or heard, or concerns or good things that you have seen, to kind of just talk about and bring awareness to, whether it's on campus or whatever the case is. So this is kind of your time to talk about those things, if there is any. And don't feel pressured if there isn't. Okay.
We talked a lot about it last month.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So,
Yeah.
One thing that I'm gonna put out in this, and I actually kind of want you involved in it too, is all the presidents, I want to have a president's council of all the presidents of each club or student organization, and meet with me once a semester for the students' voice and for collaboration too, because I think the clubs have different focuses. I try to get abreast of, you know, everything, so I want to ensure we're going in the right direction, and too, I can support it. And so I think it'd be necessary, and I've done this in the past, is just get all my presidents together and have a president's forum. And so I'm going to send an invite out for that, just FYI.
Okay. That'd be great.
So all the different programmatic clubs, we have honors clubs, we have this and that, and so, you know, I want to empower people, get everyone together.
Yeah.
So I think that might be helpful. So
Yeah,
hopefully
that would be
next
helpful.
month we'll do that, and it's a good time to look and join forces for giving back. I'm on the Salvation Army board and Rotary and a couple other things, and so there's lots of things coming down the pike for the holidays. And so I just want to make sure we're, you know,
Yeah.
we do a big punch at whatever it is, and try to do some collective stuff.
Sure, that sounds
Possibly.
good. Yeah.
That's great.
And they will, as Keiser University as a whole, Mr. Cressito is my boss, and he reports directly to Dr. Keiser and Belinda Keiser, Mrs. Keiser. They head up all of the fundraising and things like that to give back, like we did for Michael. We were the #1 school that raised the most money out of in the whole Keiser University system. So I sent up our ideas from our university for what we might be doing for that. And one thing that's happening is that there are still children sleeping on the floor in the Panhandle because of Michael. And so there's this thing that's called bunks for beds. Is that it?
Yeah, I've
Beds
heard
for
of that, yeah.
bunks or something. And we raise money or do stuff to get beds to those children, because there's still children sleeping on the floor, as well as assisting those in the Bahamas. So I think by the time it gets back, we'll have some more guided effort on that.
Yeah.
So FYI. That's all I have.
Anything else?
Can I ask one more last thing?
Sure.
We talked about it before, and maybe we do the beginning of the year, is doing the freshman mixer, helping the freshmen. Freshmen are the most at risk for dropping out of school in their first semester. And so the way that you curve that is not only through academic support, but more so getting them stitched in, if you will, to the school. And they do that by joining clubs and being a part of and knowing what's going on in the campus. So doing some kind of a freshman or new student, I guess new students, we don't really do freshmen, but new student, first term student mixer of some kind. Maybe put on by the SGA or other club presidents, and then do it like where they can go and learn about all